Hello guys, and welcome to another game testing video. We are on our Lenovo Ideapad 5 with our Ryzen 4500U Vega 6, 512GB SSD, 8 gigs of RAM. 720p is mostly what we're going to do here at low settings. There will be a little piece at 1080p to show you why I can only recommend playing this game at 720p low settings. If you don't already know, Need for Speed Heat is one of the worst optimized racing games I've ever played. I will put a link in the description below to a past video I did comparing this to another Need for Speed game, showing you how badly optimized it really is. So here we are in the beginning. We're going to jump in here in just a second. I'm going to show you the settings before we proceed here, just so you can see we are indeed right now running 720p, full screen, no VSync, low graphics setting, motion blur off, and we are good to go. So I was actually surprised to see this game even run as well as it did. I have not tested Need for Speed Payback or any others with this yet, like to compare, but I would assume we would be at least 10 to 20 FPS faster on one of those games. This Need for Speed is really rough to run, very badly optimized, and like I said, I will be putting the link in the description below to the past video I did showing that. Might give you a good idea of what I'm talking about, but that's the big reason why we do have to run this game at 720p low to get it to run at a frame rate that will stay over 30. And you'll see even in the CPU side of things even gets hammered pretty decently in this game, and I think that's always what's the problem. For whatever reason, this game always eats CPU power, and if you go and load up something like Need for Speed Payback or Forza or something like that, it's just not the case. So I don't know what their deal was when they made this game, but apparently even with updates it really hasn't gotten any better for its really poor optimization. But nevertheless, you can run it 720p low and enjoy it and play it without stutters or issues. But you're just not going to be able to push it to a higher frame rate like you might with Forza or another racing game, unfortunately. And it's one of the biggest reasons I didn't really play this game a lot. No matter what I played it on, it just didn't do very well for me.
Be advised, we've sealed off the north exit. Roadblock ahead of you. Take a right.
I'm tracking a Polestar and the Sam 350Z crossing Mercy Bridge into Even Shores. Keep those cars lit up. I ain't losing them.
That's what you think.
We're not shaking this bird!
Leave that to me.
Don't think you're outrunning me.
RV deployed. South exit. Don't let that stop you!
Alright, so here we are. We finished that up. We're getting ready to drive to our first race. And I want to go ahead and go in here to the settings like I mentioned, and we will go ahead and do just a minute of 1080p here so that you can see what I'm talking about. Which is a shame. I think that if this was optimized as well as past games, you would be able to do 1080p over 30 without a problem. I know frame rate is more where it's at, but I also just, I love higher resolution. It's just much more pleasant to look at. I much prefer a crispier picture. And believe it or not, even on the 15-inch screen on this laptop, maybe some of you don't notice the difference, but because I'm so used to the resolution, I notice 720p on that 1080p panel a lot. 1080p just looks a lot nicer. So anytime I can run a game at the native monitor resolution, I much prefer it. But you can see here we are a little bit lower on the CPU. We're not doing as much when it comes to the NPCs, the cops, the helicopters, and all that kind of stuff, but it's still getting hit pretty good. And pretty much you're going to be in the 20s. That's, you know, and anytime you're going to be under 30 steadily, I don't really like to recommend using the setting, and I don't like to test a lot more. We're obviously not going to be able to go above low on 720 or 1080, so there's no point in testing that. And there's not really a point in playing a game at 1080 either, unless you're absolutely okay with 15 to 25 FPS. So So there we go. We did hit 29 FPS even on 720p right there at the start, but then we got going. But you see now with all the other cars, NPCs going on here, our CPU's just getting hammered, and just most games don't do that on this system. So it's just some really poor design decisions, I'd say, made when they were programming this game. But nevertheless, it does work. So.
Yeah, that's it. Don't let them push you around.
But yeah, this is a pretty nice race here. No issues, and like I said in every testing video for this system, even when you get a dip in your frame rate, or even if you go down into like 20 FPS, the cool thing about this system is it has enough horsepower behind it that even though the GPU side of things, that Vega 6 will take a hit when you try to do higher graphics or settings or whatever the case, the CPU side of things does a fantastic job, and you won't get stutters and issues that make a game more unplayable than low frame rate. So like big stutters and hitch-ups in the game will make it really unplayable. The Division 2 does it horribly on a lot of systems. Low frame rate is the secondary thing. A low frame rate is the other thing that's going to make a game unplayable. But one nice thing about this system is it's powerful enough in this laptop with this APU that you rarely, if at all, I don't think I've at all run into the CPU side of things being an issue to where it made a game unplayable. So the way I look at this system is if it won't run over 30 or over, I just say not recommended. But it does a fantastic job. I hope that made sense. So anyway, we finished that race off. Pretty good performance as far as compared to the beginning of the game at nighttime. It's very similar. And that's pretty much going to do it. So thanks a lot for coming to check out this video, guys. I hope it gave you an idea how Need for Speed Heat will run on your Ryzen 4500U, or if you're about to get one. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell so you know when I drop new videos. Give this video a thumbs up and leave me your comment down below. I do have quite a few more games I'll be testing on this system and others. You guys also voted to see my 8320 system come back into play and do some testing there, so I will be doing that. So once again, thanks for coming to check out the video, and I will catch you next time.